Okay, the next stitch I'm going to teach you is twilling. And twilling looks like this. Gives it like a nice texture. And it like with a thicker weft, it will definitely stand out more. But it gives it I'll show you what it looks like with a similar weft this time. So again, back to the purple and yellow. I'm going to do this in yellow. So I'm just going to measure just a few times across, just so I'm not dealing with a bulky piece of weft. So let's do 4. All right. I'm going to cut this. Okay. So again, anytime we start anything, we're going to pigtail. So starting in between the first and second warp, I'm going to stick my end through that, pull it to the back. All right. Now we're going to go under 1 over 2, under 1 over 2, under 1 over 2, under 1 over 2, under 1 over the last 2. Still doing the bubbles. You just want to give yourself extra weft for that warp to stay in place. Push that, beat that down with your beater or your fork. Okay, when we go back, we're going to go between these two that we covered, over 2, under 1. So I'm going under that first warp thread on the right, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under that last warp thread. And there's variances to twill. You can do over 3, you know, you can change it around. I just like this, the way this one looks, and it's kind of easy to understand at first. You can see how it's giving like a slightly different texture to this. I could stop there, but I'm going to do another pass. So go over 1, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over the last 2. Doing the bubble, packing the weft. You see the weft's getting a little loose, you can just tug it a little tighter. Just want to make sure those warp threads aren't coming in. So I went over these 2. I'm going to go between them under that warp thread on the right, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, and so on until we reach the end, where I'm going to end mine. You could keep going though. Okay. So, and I can see see how that warp thread's kind of loose there. To fix that, I could just tie this tighter, but in the interest of just having a tutorial, I'm just gonna use some masking tape to help pull that down. I'm not pulling super tight on mine, so this should work. We'll see. I just pulled that tighter, so you can see it's loose here now. That should keep this one a little more taut. Okay, so I did 2 passes and end with a pigtail. So I'm going to cover that last warp thread. So I'm going to pull this up and then just pull the weft between the first and second warp. Almost like tying a knot around it, but not, because a knot would be super bulky. That's why we do the pigtail. All right, that is twilling.